Hello, lovely people.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm so glad I have a second bash at an interview with you, Karan, because there's one very important thing that I had to ask you,
Right.
along with Zoya and Anurag and Dibakar, which is there's a note that came to the press, which is very important. You said that the film talks about a relationship beyond the realm of the living. Now, I have a feeling that you have that with your late father. I mean, Dharma film opens with a shot of the great man.
Yeah.
And then you speak so often in your interviews about him. And how can that not affect your life? So, relationships beyond the realm of the living. Talk about that.
So actually, it's very strange that you say that, Hrishikesh, because in this particular film, it's about a man, and you may have seen that in the clipping that you have got, or it's in the trailer as well. There's a man who basically talks to his grandmother, and in a sense, I talk to my father as well. But not when other people are around. It happens when, like, I'm not religious like that, and the only kind of, I always feel that when you lose a parent, you gain a God. And so I think that in my father's case, because he passed away 15 years ago, and he was a very major, influence in my life. And because we were just the three of us in a family, we were very close. So I feel like I derive strength from my conversations with him, It could be clearing my head out. It's almost like cathartic and therapeutic to chat with him. So I kind of, in a strange way, I think that's the reason why I resonated with the material when it came to me. It wasn't written by me. It was written by Avinash Sampath, who's a writer who's based out of Amsterdam. And when I read it, and I was like, it's bizarre, but I do the same thing, but just not in a weird, quirky, strange manner. I do it in the confines of my own space. So you're very right to have pointed out that this was one deeply resonant part of the material. So yeah, so it was deeply resonant with my own personal life.
Mrunal, Tabriz, then Vikas, now Karan Johar, Nikhil Advani in between. You're having the time of your life, obviously.
Yeah.
The first reaction when you heard you were signed for a Karan Johar film, stroke short film, what was the first reaction? Who did you call? What did you say? How did you react?
I was in Europe filming, and so I get a call. Atul calls me and he's like, "How are your dates?" I said, "It's hectic, but you know what? I'm game. I'm doing it. I want to do this for multiple reasons. It's every girl's dream to work with Kejo. Also, the genre is different. I have never ever been a part of this genre. It's my first with Netflix, and it's like bucket lists, like tick, 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 tick. Also, I get to perform. It's there's a thin line between, when you watch the film, you would know that what is going on in this girl's head, because her husband is acting like you love that person, but you have to deal with the problems they have. So there's a very thin line how you deal with it. I'm very happy to be, to be playing Ira, because through that character I've learned so many things. I've started taking mental health is something that we don't talk about. We just want to get rid of that. But now I've realized that through these characters that an actor plays, you learn so many things and you figure out a way. And deal with it.
He said that the marriage sequence was put in there, it makes him feel comfortable, like a Karan Johar film.
Yeah.
Being part of that marriage sequence, I mean, we've seen them in Karan Johar films.
Yes.
Do you have an out-of-body experience?
I still remember I was standing there and Mrunal had to walk in, in her, what is it called?
Lehenga.
Lehenga. So she was walking in and I'm standing there and I'm like, is this happening? Because the walk had to be in a certain way, and
Yeah.
we've seen this, and it's almost happening right in front of you. So, yeah, it's.
My mom
slightly-
almost cried when I sent her a picture.
because Mrunal made a very beautiful bride. And
my
so
God.
that was the one day I was very comfortable, because that was the wedding and I didn't have to really apply myself.
So do you give bound scripts to actors and expect them to learn dialogues when they come on the set? Or do you say, do a cursory read and we'll tackle it on
We
set?
didn't do any hectic prep. We'd love to give you some kind of really major story about how much we prepped for it. They got the dialogues, I think, a day before they knew, and they were coming, and then we'd sit and improvise some stuff as well. The good thing about a short film is that when you lose the fear of the box office or the number game that you're not part of, it gives you wings to fly. You kind of do strange stuff. You create little moments, slight nuances that you feel that you have the liberation to do. It's actually a lot of fun.
And the team at Netflix in that aspect, I mean, I know there are some usual suspects who've been around in cinema and things like that. But OTT is this new kid on the block.
Yeah.
And it must be so wonderful dealing with a fresh set of people from the platform side. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all storytellers, and they're all they understand character building, they understand storytelling, and they understand they have the desire to explode, and not kind of constrict yourself at all. So I think that in a certain sense, the abandon is infectious. They give you the ability to have a lot of abandon. And that's what we've had. And in whether it was on love stories or, it was now on ghost stories or the films that, Dharmatic we're making or the shows we're talking about. Netflix is like a home of hope,
Home of hope.
Were you that kid who watched the horror show under a blanket with a hole in it, or were you just bring it on, I can watch it? I'm just taking you.
So I never watched
20 years
horror.
back.
I never watched any horror ever. I mean, it was something that I don't like to be caught unaware, and horror catches you unaware. So I think that's my big problem in life in general, and I think it translates into my film choices as well. In a sense, I used to watch the Ramsay brother films because they were so beautifully cheesy, and those don't even qualify as horror. Like, they qualify as like fun time at the movie kind of zone, and those were adult movies when I was growing up, and there's always a pleasure you derive at that age of watching an adult film. So I remember sneaking one night, and there was a film called Hotel that they had made, which had Naveen Nishchal in it, and was lying there, and my parents were out for dinner, and I put it into the video cassette and watched the whole film, and I was in bed before my parents got back, and I remember that moment so clearly. I thought I'd climbed Mount Everest, and all I'd done is watch Hotel, and then of course I've seen Do Gaz Zameen Ke Niche, and I have seen Purana Mandir, and all those movies, gloriously, spicy movies in that genre, but I've never seen anything legit when it comes to horror. And I watched half of A Quiet Place, and I couldn't take it. I was too afraid. I think the only film that I sat through was Get Out, which everyone told me that I must. It's not so scary. It's more psychological. I enjoyed that, but no, I don't like the genre.
And now you've seen your own film.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I was the only one getting scared in my own film also. Even when we were shooting the film, I was getting petrified behind the monitor. So I don't think that counts.
In fact, I remember walking after Karan and I said that I get scared after watching Abit in Art. Imagine.
Yeah, and like Z Horror Show would scare us. So can you imagine, like, we were like part of that same scare club.
What is, do you ask a lot of questions of your director, or did you just say that he's explained this to me and I'm going to just do it? Right?
Hrishikesh, when we went on set with the particular scene that we were doing, he would explain us so well what went through, what is this character going through, the character sketch, everything. So it just came naturally, we didn't have to try really hard. In fact, I had multiple questions in my head that how am I going to perform, and whether I'm going to be, there or... So I was really scared. In fact, I told Karan that it was a pretty chilled out scene.
Yeah, very chilled.
We had a lot of fun. Trust me. We called it spookity also.
Yeah, and I also have like this bad habit of acting the scene out.
We want to see
But
you
he
act.
does
I
it.
really want to
He
see
does
you
it
act.
so well, Hrishikesh. Trust me,
it's-
mujhe takkar denge.
I have this terrible habit where sometimes, I feel I want to tell actors that don't do exactly what I am doing because that's not what I want. I'm just giving it to you for motivation or body language or, sometimes, because when I write this in any scene, I always act it out when I write it out also. So I know the body language that I need them to have, kind of, Sometimes you change it around when you reach a location. But that's the only one thing that I do. So for them, like, I'm sure that for them it was a first because I perform it. Only person who used to tell me not to act it out was Shah Rukh Khan. He was like, "Tu ladkiya ko samjha. Tu mujhe mat bata."
Last question. What Karan is so unique about Avinash and Mrunal, and you guys have to return the compliment. What is so unique about Karan?
I think Avinash has a very interesting and adaptive personality and face. I think that I can see Avinash exploding in many parts. Like, he can be the good guy, he can be the bad guy, he can be the grey guy. He can be the funny guy, he can be the happy guy, he can be the sad guy. I think that versatility is his uniqueness. I think that you can adapt him and mold him into many things in cinema and, of course, in various digital platforms. Mrunal, I think, is stunning, firstly. I think that I've always found, I saw her in Love Sonia, and I was very blown by her just vulnerability and her simplicity. And
That's
just
why
the
there's a
way...
reference to her nose. The girl with the nose.
The girl with the nose. Oh, is that the in the
Naak?
trailer? Tez Naak, huh? That you've not seen that scene. The dialogue was there before I cast her only, so I mean, we had to just hope that everyone thinks that she has the right nose. But I think she has a very vulnerable face. And there are certain parts that would just suit her tremendously. And I think she's a mainstream gal. Like, I think she's gonna rock it. I think and I think her choices, whether it's conscious or not, or destiny based, with some people we attribute a lot of thought to it. It's just things just work out. In my case, that's the case as well. I think that she's really had a really nice happily moving graph. And I think that the right kind of choices are coming her way, and the right films that she's doing and choosing and connecting will take her to wonderful places, I hope.
That's also because I end up calling Kejo every time. I've got this project. What do I do?
Yeah, but I tell them, like, the thing is that in my world, if you come into my universe, I mean, you can always leverage whatever thought that I may have, you know, and an opinion I might give. I'm very happy to open my help desk.
Return the compliment, guys.
There's one thing specifically which I found very different from all the other filmmakers. A lot of filmmakers have this habit of giving directions on the mic while sitting, on the monitor, and this is something, especially for a person of this stature to come to you every time to say what he has to, even if it's a compliment, come and just say, you know what, this was really good. That is something very rare. Really, something very rare, and makes a huge difference to actors. And especially for someone like me, I think it makes a huge difference. So I was very grateful. Yeah.
So, Hrishikesh, there's one unique thing about Kejo, and the fact that he makes every actor feel comfortable, not just as, he as an actor, but also the character that he's playing. Because the moment he gives you confidence, and there are very few directors who come with a vision. They know what they want, and when they know what they want, they just tell you this is the point that needs to be triggered, and then it's done. 1 take, 2 take, 3 take, done. Like, there's a couple of things that I was new to when it comes to ghost stories, and I was very comfortable. Take 1, take 2, take 3. He was like, perfect.
Yeah.
So that's something I adore about Karan, that he would just make you feel comfortable, and he knows what he wants. About Avinash, he made me feel so comfortable. I'm really happy, and I really hope that I get to work with him again.
Lovely. Thank you, people.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.